May the Christ that dwells in me greets the Christ that dwells in you. Good morning, church. In other circumstances, I'll give you a real big hug right now, but I'll get £10,000 fine if I do it now. So a word of greeting will have to suffice. I trust that you were all encouraged last week by the videos that were on the playlist, especially the one of the amazing work that God is doing with the Eternal War of Prayer over in Birmingham. Wasn't just that such an amazing story, and just looking forward to seeing how that unfolds in the next year or two. Just want to get over there once it's built and see what God's been doing. Listen to all those testimonies. And we had a testimony call, of course, last week on the playlist, which was one of the testimonies that will be going on the wall. And we've got another one of those testimonies on this week's playlist. So you'll see that shortly as we go through this week's prayer playlist. Can I also say that this week in our playlist we've got the testimony of a scientist who is currently heading up research in America for a vaccine for COVID-19. Previously he was an atheist and he's now become a Christian, and it's a tremendous testimony. Not too long. You really must watch it during the playlist. It'll encourage you. And for those who might be interested in knowing a little bit more about the guy, I've also posted some more videos about the guy on the church YouTube website, should you be interested in hearing more about this guy and his spiritual journey. Also, towards the end of today's playlist, you'll find the second instalment of the interview that Tim Fellows had with George Otis Jr., who was describing some of his experiences of revival that are taking place today. Very much worth a watch, so that's right towards the end of the playlist after the sermon and everything else. On another note, can I ask you to pray for Pastor Denise and myself this week as we follow up some new contacts. Pray that some genuine relationships will be established and that'll happen quite quickly. So please just lift us up in prayer as we make those contacts and those connections this week. And might today's date with the King be a meaningful experience for all of you. So welcome to this week's Date with the King.